All right, Matt Harmon here. Happy to be joined by Cowboys wide receiver Ceedee Lamb. How's it going, man?
Oh, well, man. Busy morning, but we loving it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been doing a lot of these so far?
Absolutely, absolutely.
What's the one question you've been getting that you're sick of being asked? So I don't ask it to you.
Top 5 receivers in the league?
Really? You don't care about that?
Nah, not necessarily.
I understand why. A couple other guys have said, quarterback questions, which you don't have to really answer or think about. Guys with the game picks. I like to know what you guys don't want to talk about before you jump on here.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I don't want to ask you any bad questions. You're here on behalf of Old Spice. Tell me what you got going on with them.
Old Spice is big on swagger. They have this new blend, of course, to really just boost, your confidence and keep you kind of smelling fresh for a longer lasting period of time, of course. And Old Spice do a great job. They have this new swagger blend, 24 hours, long lasting freshness. So if you need anything to keep you feeling good, feeling fresh, and keep your swag up, go hit up Old Spice.
There you go, especially on game day. I mean,
facts.
You got to be feeling your best going into it. Yeah,
3 hours.
That's a long time.
Exactly. And you don't really want to be focusing on get a little whiff of you being a little musty. So.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're a receiver, you're trying not to be covered. You want people to stay away from you. Maybe
that's a cheat code.
You got to work to get open. Yeah, I appreciate that. There you go. We talked a few months ago. You told me that your favorite receiver position was playing in the slot.
Right.
That was what you liked the best. I did appreciate, though, in the NFC Championship game, obviously you guys didn't get the result you wanted, but you had a couple good go routes on the outside. Great technique there. It is nice to be able to see that you can do both, and you're that versatile of a guy.
Most definitely. Outside is actually where I started. So been on the outside like the whole beginning of my receiver career. I started in the slot for like the first 2 years, and then as I got into high school, I started to go on the outside, playing your X or playing your Z. And I gradually got better, and then my senior year, I was kind of in a mixture of both, my X, Z, and your Y, if you will. But in the league, we call it your F. But so just building that resume of just having the ability to play in and outside, I don't really have a preference. It's just if you're going to put me in somewhere that I know can be more impactful in the game, I would rather go in the slot.
And like we said before, the fact that you can do all three positions, you can excel at all three positions, people don't give you enough credit for how difficult of a job that is. So congrats on a great season, man. I feel like it was really a big breakthrough for you. Did you feel kind of the same way or just more the same?
Most definitely. I still feel like I left a lot of more meat on the bone, which means I left a lot more plays out there that could have been made.
Sure.
But definitely very content with the stuff that I put out this year. Granted, I wish we'd have still been playing, but as of right now, I'm fine with where we are.
There's all the Cowboys are the most covered team in the NFL. You look at like all the metrics and whatever. Cowboys stuff gets so much views, so many clicks. So obviously everybody's talking about what you can do to take the next step. What do you think as a team you can do to kind of take that next step?
Just kind of going off of the routine or the things that's been going on these past 2 years, and you see guys adding more pieces in the offseason, and I'm big on that. As far as for us to get to where we want to go, we got to make moves that we gotta have to make, and some big, some maybe small, but just very impactful. Impactful pieces that are come in, and as you see the Eagles, look at them, they're thriving right now, and they made great moves in the offseason. Tip my hat out to those guys and everything they've accomplished. But definitely got to go in and grab something.
As a team, what's most impressive to you about Philadelphia, how they built that thing?
Their D-line.
Yeah.
Granted, the game is won through the trenches, and that's your O-line and your D-line. But how quick they turned everything around. They've always had Brendan Graham and Fletcher Cox, of course. But for them to add Hassan and then Sweat and then still having Dominican Sue in the middle and then have Jordan Davis. So they have a range, a plethora of guys. The rotation is crazy. Guys are ongoing. Mind you, I feel like we still have the best pass rush in the NFC East. But like now in the playoffs, Super Bowl, should I say, between AFC, Kansas City and Philly, I'm taking Philly's D-line.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the core identity of their team. It's crazy that they won a Super Bowl like 5-6 years ago with a different head coach and a different quarterback. Now they're back here mostly with two different guys there. because of that identity on the defensive line and the offensive line as well.
Absolutely. You just go look at the guys that stayed on the team, on both teams, as you said, with two different coaches, but the players are still the same.
Yeah.
You can change the coaches, but the players got to play.
That's true. That's a very good point. A couple things on the Cowboys, too. Michael Gallup's a guy who, I got a lot of friends that are Cowboys fans. They're like, oh, Michael Gallup's contract, he didn't play up to it this year, that whole thing. What was he like this year? Because I think people forget, we're just now, we're just 1 year off him having ACL surgery.
We just hit the 1 year mark.
Yeah, literally today. I think it was today.
Yeah, actually. So just understanding that my man was playing through a lot of a lot of hurt injuries. Granted, he was prepared to play. He still made a couple plays. You'll get a couple MG plays, crazy catches, circus catches, hard catches, competitive. But you never know what anyone's going through until you really just ask them, or you never know. And I just found out that he had another surgery on his knee and ankle again this offseason.
Really? Yeah, I didn't know that.
That was something on the internet that said that. I didn't even ask my man, but that's what I heard. So I'm going to text him after this because now that you got me questioning myself, I'm going to text him after this interview. I don't want to put no bad news out there. So if he's not hurt, then I don't know if he's actually hurt. But
so
that's
a maybe. It's a possible. Yeah,
big maybe, but that's something that I saw. Yeah, he had knee and ankle surgery, and I'm like, what do you want? He plays receiver, bro. That's all he used. You know, I tip my hat off to my man for going out there and competing with me. Having him out there was a big plus.
And he's great at that X receiver position, running the vertical routes, winning contested passes. You guys will make a great duo. I think we can expect big things from him this year as the farther he gets away from all of these surgeries. Like you said, you never know what people are playing through.
Right, and it's always tough, man. Week in and week out, especially on the shorter weeks. We've had a lot of short weeks where we went from 7 games to playing on Thursday.
Yeah.
No one likes a Sunday to Thursday. No one, you can ask anyone in the league.
Tough.
No one likes Sunday to Thursday. And then, or if you play on Monday, then you back up again on Sunday early.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah. But it's just adjusting and, being a professional.
Yeah. Just got to do your job, man. All right, we're going to do some fantasy team names here with you.
Hit me.
By the way, Ceedee, you got a lot of puns that can come out of that name. Do you like the Ceedee puns or do you hate the Ceedee puns?
I'm not against them, brother. It's kind of interesting. I like to see, how people's minds work sometimes.
Yeah, my last name's Harmon. I've been getting Harmony puns my entire life. I'm like,
facts.
Eventually, you got to you're not the first person to say that.
Absolutely.
But Ceedee, you got a lot of options there. So let's dive into these. You tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 where you would rate these team names. 1 being bad, 10 being good.
Perfect.
First one here, Silence of the Lamb.
10.
10? Yeah, you seen that movie?
That's tough. Yeah, and I read the book.
Yeah, that's a good.
I heard the book. I didn't read it. I heard it.
I didn't read the book.
I don't read, bro. I mean, I can read. It's just reading is not
your thing
at all. I'd rather listen than read.
You big audiobook guy, big podcast guy?
Big podcast guy.
By the way, this is called Radio Row. I think it should be renamed Podcast Pit.
Facts, because this is all podcast.
Exactly.
Vibes. All you need is a big camera and put them on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly right. Correct. Exactly. All right, next one here. Classic. CD's nuts.
Just because
I had to say
I've heard that so much. I'll give it a 7.
Okay. All right. That's pretty fair. Now you Ceedee. Now you don't.
That's a dub. I'll give it a 10.
High yield Ceedee.
No, like a 3.
3. Okay. CD burner.
4.
4.
4.
Yeah. Some of these are not very good. All right. We got a few with some of your teammates here names as well. Dak Street Boys.
That's a dub.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic. I've seen that one a lot. Dak to the Future.
So I see that the common group is going backward. Yeah, like a 7.
Yeah, 7. It's fine, not great. Gallup to no good. Like up to no good.
Clever, 7.
Yeah, all right, we'll give it a 7. Zika virus. I don't actually know what that is.
No, I don't even know if I want to rate that one.
Yeah. Not even eligible for a rating. It's that bad.
Zika virus.
Yeah, I mean, I just read what's on the card.
Right. Okay, I ain't mad at you.
Zeke Squad.
Geek Squad?
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's what it is. All right. That's not too
like
bad.
A 6.
It's fine. All right, last question for you, Ceedee, before we get out of here. Mike McCarthy taking over the play calling duties. Kellen Moore, he's moving on to the Chargers. What do you expect out of that transition?
But honestly, I don't know what to expect, but I'm very excited. You look at what he's done. You know, he was calling a couple plays out in Green Bay, so it's nothing new to him.
Yeah.
You know, he's been in this position, and he knows what he's doing, and we trust every bit of it, and can't wait to see, next year.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's been in the building. I'm sure it's not going to be that big of a deal to you guys. Same system, just keep doing what you're doing.
Gotcha.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Awesome stuff. Congrats on a great season. Good luck this next year.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, buddy.